Welcome to Scorched Earth and a general reading for the sign of Sagittarius, Sun, Moon and Ascendant for the month of August. Hope you're all doing well. I'd like to say a massive thank you to all the people who've leapt aboard on the channel memberships. They're now open. There's a join button underneath the video there. Thank you. I really appreciate each and every one of you, and also to all of the patrons who have come over and joined me on Patreon. Yeah, the vote of support from both of you camps is huge, and I appreciate every single last one of you, so thank you so much. You know, I have my unending gratitude. So, Saggy, I don't think I've got anything else to tell you, so let's just get straight on with this. I have 3 cards for Sagittarius, please. August. God, I've got a ton of cards that will come out together there. Oh. Right, I'm not going to take these because there's 3 of them come out together. And this might just be a message for one of you, but it seems like you understand the truth about an earth sign now, right? And you're leaving it behind. I only wanted 3 cards in total, and I certainly don't want them jumping out 3 at a time. So maybe just for one of you, but that's the thing. So 3 cards for Sagittarius. There's the first card, 3 of Pentacles. I like that. That's a nice card. That's good. More cards for Sagittarius. I've got the King of Wands. That's the card of Leo, but it could well indicate you, Saggy, also. And one more card for Sagittarius. Oh, Temperance. Do you know what? You're the first sign that I've read for this month who has actually appeared in the main cards. Like Leo appeared in the clarifiers, and I think perhaps Gemini did as well. But there you are, up front. At the bottom of the deck, we have got, interestingly, the 6 of Swords, followed by Justice. It's like you've been leaving something behind, whether this is a way of thinking or an actual situation. And it's exactly right that you should do so now. Like, it's like the universe is unfolding as it should and all that. You know, it's kind of like you're hitting a checkpoint of some description. Interesting. So let's get some clarifiers and then we'll get on with this. Which way? Which one? That one? That one? I'm going to go with the straight Rider-Waite for the clarifiers. So, why is the 3 of Pentacles here? Three of Pentacles is clarified by the 3 of Pentacles. Okay, so this is quite an important thing that's gone on here. I've had a ton of cards that flipped. Not many jumpers. The 3 of Pentacles. Ooh, the star. That's nice. I like that. There it is. King of Wands. Hanged Man. Interesting. And the Ace of Swords again. Interesting. Temperance. Where's Temperance here? Ooh. Okay. Well, it looks like you've got to make big strides this month, because what we've got are 2 cards that tried to come out at the beginning there. Like, this is a collective energy, certainly. We have got... Ooh, and there you are again. Or maybe a Leo. Let's see. We've got conflict here. Right? This is the shadow card at the bottom of the deck. It's the theme under which everything else, over which everything else is interpreted. You get what I'm saying, right? Conflict followed by possibly you, possibly a Leo. But from what I'm seeing here, it looks very much like there are some great strides in moving away from conflict. That seems to be what the message is here for you. So, the first card that you've got is the 3 of Pentacles. There. Right? And this is a card of cooperation and collaboration. This is a card you see when you're talking about teamwork. you know. This is your recent past. So it could be that maybe with lockdown restrictions easing a little bit, you've been able to work with people that you haven't been, you know, able to be around for the last few months, and that this is giving you a great deal of hope for the future. But it seems like it's been really important to you. So perhaps you've taken on some sort of new project. Perhaps you're working with people in a sort of team environment now, in a way that is really adding value to your life, and I do feel that quite strongly. There's an adding of value going on here. We've got the Star as well. Now, this is similar to the Temperance card in some ways, because it does talk about healing and it talks about balance and all that sort of thing. But for me, it also talks about faith and trust and connection, right? So we've got two cards of connection here. Like, connections are being re-established. Connections that bring value to your existence are being re-established. And it's making you feel really good about yourself, or it has made you feel you know, so much better about yourself than whatever you were dealing with before. But it's also giving you a lot of hope for the future. Right? This connection here doesn't just extend to, you know, other people in this earthly realm. It's also about something much bigger than you, the future. This big fucking celestial body in the sky here, you know, right? I trust this thing is going to take me where I need to go. It's a card of vision as well. So maybe you've been working together with people on something, you know, on some sort of vision of yours. That's a possibility. Right. Tell me about this Three of Pentacles and the Star. 10 of Pentacles. This could be a business thing. Maybe that's what's been taking up an awful lot of your time recently. Tell me about this. Yeah. So we've got the Empress at the bottom here. She talks about fertility and abundance. She's bringing things, new things into the world. She's birthing new things. She's literally pregnant in this card here. Right? It feels like you're working on something with other people. Right? Whether it's your business or whether it's even, you know, potentially a pregnancy, potentially a family thing, but you've got an awful lot of hope. You have had an awful lot of hope about the future moving forwards, right? After a protracted break, because we've got this Four of Swords here, you know, taking a break, stepping back from something. And that feels like it's absolutely related to the lockdown in some way, right? Where you've been separated from something, now you are coming back together. Now, in your current energy, we have the King of Wands. Like I said, this is strictly the card of Leo. So if you're dealing with the Leo at the moment, maybe it's pretty pertinent. But it could equally depict you. Now, the Knight of Wands is strictly the Sagittarian card in the court hierarchy. But this is a much more mature version of that card, right? It's interesting that it's a king rather than a queen, because a queen is by definition receptive energy. The feminine energy is always receptive. It doesn't matter that this is a king in terms of gender, right? It's just about the presentation of the energy. So where the queens and the feminine energy is receptive, the knight and the king is masculine energy, and it's very active. It goes after things, and it feels like you have got, you know, a lot of fire in your belly at the moment, right? Something's gone on here in the recent past that's really reinvigorated you, and you are feeling it here now. Like, the energy is really, really high with you. It's clarified by the Hanged Man and the Ace of Swords. The Hanged Man is the card of Pisces, but it talks about gaining wisdom, right? It talks about looking at things from a different perspective. And for you, it seems like you've looked at things from a different perspective and seen the truth, a new way of seeing the world, right? That is absolutely straight down the line. Like, there's nothing hidden from you here now. You know, while you were in lockdown and you were kind of isolated and all that sort of thing, it was uncomfortable because Sagittarius doesn't like to sit still. Like, you're always doing something. You're a very doing sign. All the fire signs are. But for you particularly, you like to move around. But it doesn't feel like you got too agitated with this. It's almost like you used it as an opportunity to really work through some stuff. And now you've seen the world from a different perspective. You see the truth of the matter, and you have matured spectacularly. Yeah? Otherwise you'd be showing up as the knight, but you're not. You're showing up as the king, which I like. It seems like your ability to get things done has actually increased exponentially just in this downtime that you've had over the lockdown. Tell me about the Hangman and the Ace of Swords. You've been working on something, Saggy. You've been working on a vision. There's the Star card again. Now, you've got a plan. You might not have been able to move around that much at the time, but you didn't waste that. You didn't waste it at all. Like your mind has been off in the future somewhere, and you've come up with something, and now you're starting to put in place the measures to achieve that thing. Yeah, we've got the Two of Wands. It's kind of crossroads energy, but it is exactly that. It is coming up with a plan and then working out how you're going to get to where it is that you want to go. Right? If the star is your destination, if the star is the vision that you have about, where you want to go, then the Two of Wands is absolutely the precursor to any kind of movement occurring. It's planning, it's strategizing. We've got the Chariot at the bottom of the deck now. We've got the Queen of Swords here. On the Five of Swords. It's like you've changed your mind about things. Changing your mind isn't quite right. You see things very differently now. And this is really interesting because we've also got the Three of Swords here. Right. And the Three of Swords and the Five of Swords together, with this Queen of Swords here, it feels like because all of this is coming out under the Ace, right? So it sounds like the way that you see the world, the way that you see yourself, the way that you think, the very way that you think, in fact, it's kind of gone through this process now where you are able to see things really, really clearly, right? We've got the Three of Swords and the Five of Swords. For me, the Five of Swords is always kind of a card of difficult communications, and for you, it feels like it's difficult mental communications because of this here. It's almost like you've put recently all of this to bed and you're just like, no, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm going to stick with this one ace. This one ace here that she's holding, right? And I'm not going to be swayed by other people's bullshit is what I just heard there, right? Maybe other people have been in the past the ones who stopped you from realizing a vision that you had. Right? Maybe that's the thing, but it's certainly, you're pushing all of that to the side now. It's all going on up here. You feel, to me, your energy feels kind of spicy, right? It's totally reinvigorated. So what's coming towards you in August is Temperance. It's you. Now, you could say that this was healing and stuff like that, and we spoke about that with the Star card here, but this feels a little bit more like you showing up as you, right? Because you've got hidden depths and you keep them hidden. You don't expose them to everyone. In fact, I think as a sign, Sagittarius seems to really, really enjoy being underestimated, right? So you put your light under a bushel quite often. Just waiting for the right time to kind of pull it off and be like, ta-da, here I am, before, putting it back down again and kind of wandering off and going on your merry way. I feel like you are kind of putting an end to that, right? You still like to be underestimated, but it feels like you really showing up in your most authentic version of yourself in the month of August. And we've got these two cards to clarify here. Now, the first thing that comes to mind here when I'm looking at this is that there is a triggering event that causes this authentic exhibition of Sagittarian energy with you. It doesn't feel like it just comes out of nowhere. We've got the Ten of Swords and the Eight of Cups here. The Eight of Cups is about moving away from old sort of old situations that no longer serve you. That's what, you know, tarot readers say a lot, but I feel more specifically it's about old emotions that aren't yours, right? You know, that you've been kind of told you should be feeling, or people have manipulated you into feeling them, or that maybe that you've just agonized over for a long time, you know, difficult situations from the past. I feel like you're releasing all of those and accepting that that part of your life has been and gone. But it feels like, I don't know why, I have a feeling that there's a triggering event that causes that to happen. I've just shuffled these cards and there's the Eight of Cups there. All followed by Temperance, which is you. Awesome. So, tell me more about this here. Now, this is interesting because when I'm clarifying the Eight of Cups, what I've got here is the Five of Pentacles and the Five of Cups. This is disruptive energy, but this feels like it's where you have been, right? Last year, beginning of this year, there was a lot of this. There was a lot of frustration. There was a lot of difficult feelings, difficult emotional stuff. It can be loss, it can even be bereavement, you know, but it can also be resentment, it can be guilt, it can be shame, it can be all of these things. And this is absolutely a card of you not getting your needs met, possibly by you, but certainly by other people. Now, you're leaving this behind, right? There's an end to this, but it because of all the work that you've done this year, it doesn't feel like that's just like a natural thing that's going to occur for you in the month of August. It feels like there's something kicking it off. I've just noticed we've got the Hanged Man at the bottom of the deck. So you see the world very, very differently now to how you did at the beginning of the year. Justice and Temperance. Right. We've got the Moon at the bottom of the deck. And it feels like potentially there may be things coming to light in the month of August that you maybe weren't necessarily aware of. Perhaps you suspected them, I don't know. But they're coming to light. They're coming out, right? Because this isn't you, I don't think. This is an energy of stuff that is hidden. We've got the Hierophant underneath. So that could be a Taurus, or it could refer to some sort of established relationship that you had for a while. Now, a lot of Sagittarians moved out of an established situation. I mean, this is marriage, basically. Is this marriage or divorce? There are things going to come to light about that, and I feel like that is the thing that's going to kick things off. The thing is, because, yeah, in fact, here we go. Look, we've got the Hierophant and Justice appearing in the same clump of cards here. That is usually a divorce or some sort of separation of you from something that was a really established, solid part of your life for a while, right? And it's kind of moving away from it. Shit's coming to light, yo. And then we've got Justice and the Temperance card here, right? So Temperance is getting slapped down on the table twice, and it feels like it is a healing experience for you, because it feels a bit like maybe it I'm trying to find the right phrase to describe what it is that I'm feeling. It's quite difficult sometimes trying to describe feelings about events so that one can understand what the event is, right? This is supposed to happen, right? This is a thing. It's actually kind of preordained to a degree, in so much as anything that ever comes up in tarot is, you know, it's kind of like a snapshot of potential in the future. But this does feel like it's kind of an important thing for you in terms of, you know, who you are as a person moving forwards. It's a very difficult situation that you left behind. It may or may not have been a marriage, and maybe divorce is something that's going on here at the moment with the Justice card and the Hierophant here together. But when this stuff comes to light, whatever it is, it's allowing you to walk away properly now, right? I don't know what might have kept you from doing so. Maybe loyalty, maybe you've got kids, something like that, right? Or maybe if it's a difficult situation with this person that you've had, if this was the person who was not meeting your needs, if this is the person who was, you know, putting you into a difficult emotional place, kind of seeing them for who they are, finally, you know, with no mistake, allows you to heal up. There's quite a lot of peace here in this reading, actually. Whatever it is that happens here, it allows you to put a lot of this to the side and just put it down and go, oh, do you know what, this isn't me, this isn't my shit, none of this is, and I'm actually kind of better off out of this situation, for sure, all right? But it helps you find your peace, and it really helps you show up even more authentically than you have been doing. Like, I don't think you're going to hide anything anymore. I think there's an increasing sense of pride that I'm starting to feel with you, and not misplaced pride as well, just like pride in who you are and who you are becoming, because you've made such incredible strides since, in fact, like last year. You know, with the difficulties that you went through from, like, well, from when I started the channel, it was like July or something like that. I was sure Sagittarius was kind of didn't start great, and then kind of went down, and so on, until about the beginning of this year, you know, like February time. And then, like, what you have done, what you've achieved since then, has really set you off down a road of self-discovery. It's been quite awesome to witness. But there's still bits of you where, like, this person and their kind of, if it is a person, the way that they make you feel, on some level you've believed it for a while, right? Very low level, just a little bit, maybe worried that they were right. This will show you this month that you don't have anything to worry about on that score, and actually it's okay for you to be out in the world in your wholesome Sagittarian, fiery, gallopy centaurness, right? So I'm going to go and do an extended on Vimeo. So if you would like to join me over there, I would be delighted to see you. Let's see if we can't pull this apart a little bit, because I feel like the cards are not giving me everything that I wanted here. There's definitely more to go into here, so I'm going to go and pull it apart a little bit in Vimeo. If you're not interested in that, that's absolutely fine. I will see you in about 10 days for the mid-month readings. But other than that, take care and I'll see you soon.